government is going to grant themselves powers unilaterally to create greater control over American society and global society.
COVID is critical because this is what convinces people to accept, to legitimize
Upload complete.
total biometric surveillance.
It's always the data. It's the crack cocaine of Silicon Valley. We are already living inside the architecture of totalitarianism.
We need not just to monitor people, we need to monitor what's happening under their skin.
I know my husband is not vaccinating people and putting a microchip in their arm because that technology doesn't even exist and he's never uttered the words out of his mouth, so.
Microchips and tracking devices are embedded in the... Is this accurate?
We have 6 MAC addresses that are pulsing Bluetooth signals, and all we are is surrounded by tombstones.
So can someone explain to me why we're getting EMF emissions off the grave inside of a Faraday cage, please?
So we've seen the reports of individuals having unlicensed MAC addresses. I've seen evidence of that myself.
One of the requirements that it just changed the entire course of the conversation and, frankly, my life, that's when lipid nanos came into the conversation. From a technical perspective, if I can retrieve data, I can send data.
DARPA calls it transhumanism.
I mean, can you hear what I just said and not want to just step away?
Way back in 1778, the Continental Congress unanimously passed America's first whistleblower law.
I did this clearly at my own jeopardy.
It recognized the duty to give the earliest information to Congress of any misconduct, frauds, or misdemeanors committed by anyone working for government.
The information I'm presenting is made as a protected communication under Title 10 USC 1034 as a whistleblower.
246 years later, whistleblowers have an incredible record of changing the course of history.
I wish I would have met you.
In late October of 2019, I was approached by leadership. There were 5 clients and there was a vendor in the room. The vendor was 𝗓𝗏𝗏𝗧𝗘𝗥.
I could have saved your face.
These are the notes that I took during the conversation of the meeting with the stakeholders for the contact tracing application. Took the fabric of my reality and just run me. I mean, it just made me question everything.
Good shot, man.
All of your biometric data, your location, your privacy, it's gone.
There's no reason to be walking around with a mask. Wearing a mask might make people feel a little bit better, but it's not providing the perfect protection that people think that it is. What people don't fully appreciate is that putting a mask on yourself is more to prevent you from infecting someone else. I wear it for the reason that I believe it is effective. I want to protect myself and protect others, and also because I want to make it be a symbol for people to see.
Couple of things there. Started off, it doesn't really have an effect. Ends up today saying it protects him, which, again, a couple of weeks ago wasn't protecting the individual wearing it, was for others. And it's a symbol. And Biden said it's a sign of respect. So you see how it's gone from didn't have any effect to now it's a symbol, and it shows respect. And it protects you both ways. I thought only an N95 protected you both ways. But
I'm sure there's a guy at the NSA right now making a note of, my connection details to you, which route it went over the internet. They go, where do we think he likely lives now, and how does he travel, and what does he do, and who's he talk to, and oh, he's got a connection to Russell Brand now. Put Russell Brand on the list. Oh shit, Russell Brand's already on the list. Move him higher. Now, if you're asking me, do I use an iPhone? Do I use an Android phone? Do I, post on Facebook? Do I have all Google's crap everywhere? The answer, of course, is no. I try to limit the reach these systems have in my life to the maximum extent that's possible. But I also recognize that for some things there are no alternatives. What you have to do is create the minimum possible surface area. From a technical sense, we could go very deep here, but the foremost problem, I think, with basically tracking people today via mobile devices and things like that, is all of the network communications that those devices are making, that your device is making right now as you look at it, are invisible to you. You think you're watching, a YouTube video or listening to a podcast or whatever, but then you finish and you put the phone down. The screen is off. It's just sitting on the charger or whatever. It's still communicating. It's communicating with an enormous frequency. A lot of apps are connected in the background. They're reporting not just a single person. When you're watching YouTube, it's not just going to Google. It's not just going to YouTube. It's not just going to Facebook. It's going to all of these different companies that have embedded tracking code in all of the dumbest apps on your phone, from big to small. Instagram obviously is a tracking nightmare, but so is your weather app. So is your calculator. So is any kind of little shim they can get into your device. And here's the beautiful part of all of that. Let's say you install every app from your phone. You just open up that sort of app drawer and there's nothing in it. It's a beautiful, clean background image. So long as that phone is on, even if you turn off location services, even if you turn off GPS, it is still tracking your location every minute of the day that you have it with you. By virtue of the way the cell phone network works, you're connected to the nearest cell phone tower, right? That tower registers the location of your phone's handset, your phone's SIM card, which holds your phone number. Your phone number is, of course, related to your billing information, even if you've got no other information on your phone. Now that telecommunications company has that. They store those records in perpetuity, basically. AT&T in the United States, one of our largest telecommunications providers, saves your calling records, right? Going back to 1987. People might go, oh, well, it's my calling records, whatever. But that's more than most people's lifetimes that are, watching something like this. And then your movements, the sort of tower locations that you were connected to. AT&T holds that going back to 2008. So they got, 12, 13 years.
It's one of those things where there's no way that people weren't going to explore it. The issue is now that we've discovered it works better than we expected a few years ago, what do we do to mitigate the long-term risks of things more intelligent than us taking control?
Let's talk about those risks, because you've said that you're worried about bad actors. What worries you the most about what could be used with this technology?
So there's a lot of things that a lot of other people have talked about to do with being able to produce lots of text automatically, so you can get lots of very effective spam bots. It'll allow authoritarian leaders to manipulate their electorates, things like that. I'm not really talking about those. There's another particular thing I want to talk about, which is the existential risk of what happens when these things get more intelligent than us. So quite recently, I've come to the conclusion that the kind of intelligence we're developing is very different from the intelligence we have. We're biological systems, and these are digital systems. And the big difference is that with digital systems, you have many copies of the same set of weights, the same model of the world. And all these copies can learn separately, but share their knowledge instantly. So it's as if you had 10,000 people, and whenever one person learned something, everybody automatically knew it. And that's how these chatbots can know so much more than any one person.
Did you see what Elon Musk is doing? I mean, this is sort of, he has this idea and it sounds fantastic, but watch him do it. Colonizing other planets like Mars. He wants to do it to reseed or reset Earth. Why? He's watching this. This is exactly what he called out years ago. So what do you and I do about this?
It's this, we are building this AI that's going to become not only just super intelligent, but it eventually becomes so advanced that it gains omniscience, it gains omnipotence, and it becomes this superhuman godlike thing that transcends humanity, eventually destroys humanity. And he gets really into the book of Revelation, ends up becoming the demons from the book of Revelation. The real thing with Nick Land...
what becomes the demons of Revelation?
AI does. That we are building the demons from the book of Revelation with AI. And
that's Nick Land's position.
But I should say, too, it's the position of a lot of these guys. Elon Musk has said that with AI, we are summoning the demons.
Yes, he has said that. He said that 10 years ago in an interview, and he's said similar things every year since. But Elon is, or was, trying to sound the alarm on that. Nick Land is for this?
I mean, with a lot of these guys, Tucker, it ends up being, a lot of them are, I mean, they would maybe blanket Satanist. Although Nick Land has said, Christians who believe that what he's doing is talking to Satan when he does these divination things. He says they're not totally wrong. He's not unsympathetic to it. He says he is hearing from the outside and that these are, he's not totally unsympathetic for it. But with a lot of these guys, what was interesting about Nick Land is that they keep getting the same ideas.
Interestingly, did you see this? That
well, there's some people that like that. I mean, this is what Bill Gates always wanted. This is what a lot of these tech-obsessed people have always wanted. They've wanted, and many on the left with depopulation. This is very scary stuff.
Ladies and gentlemen, 𝗔𝗡𝗧𝗘𝗥𝗟𝗏 with a pass with power. 1, 2, 3, spin!
花火、綺麗だね。でも僕たちは少しずつ離れていく。
Ready when you are. 3, 2, 1, go! Dude, you alright? I'm good.
Steady! Damn it!
There's a quote that people in Silicon Valley love to say. I'm going to get it wrong, but it's something like, we have the technology of gods, the moral framework of medieval times, and there's one more. But I think there is this sense that our technological capabilities are so outpacing our wisdom, our judgment, our kind of time to develop what we want society to be. And it does feel unbalanced to me in a bad way. I don't know what to do about that because the technology, it's here. This is no longer, I've been talking about this for years. This was the year that I think the AI got smarter than us. That's a big moment.
Yeah.
And life goes on, but something fundamental has changed. I don't know how sci-fi it's going to get. No one does. Are we living forever in computers? Do we just cure a bunch of disease? Do we, whatever? I will say, there's this not that new anymore. In the last few years, there's this show called Pantheon that explores some of these questions. And it is the best. I don't watch much TV, but I made an exception. And it is the best TV show I have seen in a very long time. So I think these questions are in the zeitgeist and sort of newly important and not theoretical. Certainly, I don't know how it's all going to go.
Zuckerberg says that the goal is to focus on what he calls personal super intelligence, aiming to make everyday tasks easier and faster.
A lot has been written about the scientific and economic advances that AI can bring, and I'm really optimistic about this. But I think an even more meaningful impact in our lives is going to come from everyone having a personal superintelligence that helps you achieve your goals, create what you want to see in the world, be a better friend, and grow to become the person that you aspire to be.
Artificial intelligence models are now fighting for their own survival. One OpenAI model rewrote its own code to avoid being shut down. And Anthropic started blackmailing the engineer.
And the letter that he posted, it's kind of intense language, Mike. He says that the next decade will likely decide whether superintelligence is a tool for personal empowerment or a force focused on replacing large swaths of society. No gray area there for him, Mike.
No, not at all, because Kana, even as you know, I am very pro-tech, but superintelligence is the next frontier.
Kurt, I read about this and my jaw dropped. It actually started blackmailing the engineers who were suggesting shutting the AI down. The AI was going after them. That's frightening.
Beyond frightening. Good morning to you, Rachel. Not to ruin your day, but this sort of Hollywood is becoming a reality if we don't do anything about it.
Broke, they got deleted. In China, tens of thousands of young people are suddenly homeless, not because of money, but because the system erased them.
Imagine a society where everything you do, everything you say, and everything you buy is controlled and evaluated by the authorities. This is what the Chinese Communist Party calls social credit.
By using the mechanism of social credit, we'll be able to establish a blacklist of people and create a system of punishment that will be based on a scientific theory. These punishments will serve as a whip to rebuild moral values. Our society needs it.
The country's social credit system decides who's trustworthy, but if you're blacklisted, it's game over. Your WeChat Pay stops working, you can't receive your salary, can't buy food, can't even book a train ticket. It's like being alive, but digitally. Many are now sleeping in the streets, cut off from everything. Jobs, housing, even communication. All because one app, one algorithm decided they don't belong.
It's not science fiction. In China, it's a reality. Then there's the public shaming. Photo galleries of blacklisted citizens. There's even an app that shows who around you is in debt.
They're not criminals. They didn't steal, cheat, or harm anyone. They just fell too low on a score and vanished from the digital world. Critics say it's a glimpse into the future, where technology doesn't just track your life, it controls it. So ask yourself, if your entire life depended on your digital reputation, how long before you get deleted?
And what's
even you would acknowledge you have an incredible amount of power at this moment in time. Why should we trust you?
You shouldn't.
Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself. There is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files?
In the case file.
Okay.